So with Andrew Hall. Andrew, as captain, how would you rate or sum up the 2012 season?
I think frustrating is one of the words that we use. After our team analysis of what we did right and wrong in the season, I think that came up quite a lot of times. We feel frustrated. We had injury to key players, but also when we had our full team, we didn't always do what we expected of each other. I think on the bowling front, we didn't have the power that we had last year. We didn't have the ability to take 20 wickets on a regular basis, and in the batting front, we didn't have that same power to bat for long periods of time and put up big scores like we did last year. And I think that's been the crux of our season. We sort of had days when we batted well and didn't bowl well, and then days when we bowled well but didn't bat well. So for us to move forward, we've really put it to going down back in the off season now, practice really hard and make sure that we sharpen up on our skills, both batting and bowling. That next year, we're able to compete far better.
How does a team get back in winning habit?
I think obviously it's going to be vital for us to have a good start next season. This year we didn't have the greatest of start. We had a couple of guys injured. We didn't have our key players performing at their best. I think for us mainly it's vital to have a really good start to next season. I think if we think back to the seasons we've done well, we sort of hit the ground running, we've started really well, and then sort of from there things happen. I think that's going to be our biggest thing is to make sure that we get our first game of the season really underway with a good start and play really competitive good cricket.
And on a personal level, how would you sum up your season?
I think again frustrating is one of the things that I'm very frustrated with how my season went. In the batting department never really felt like I got going. In the bowling ended up a lot better than what I started with. I was really pleased with the last couple of games. My bowling sort of came better every single game. Ended up with 5 wickets in the last one. Tally of 34 wickets in the season. My aim was to get 40, so there's something for me to really build on. But from a batting perspective and also an injury perspective, really disappointing. I didn't manage to play any of the T20 games. Which is something that I've always valued myself on being, one of the players that usually ends up putting a lot of effort in and also, having key performances in those competitions. So I think for me personally next year it's about making sure that I'm fit and strong for every single game of the season and putting in key performances that the team, needs.
Just a word on Jack Brooks. He's obviously announced his departure from the county ground. Is that going to be a big loss for the club?
Yeah, I think it's always a big loss if we lose any of our players. I think especially somebody like Jack, I know he didn't have a great season this year because of injuries, but you only have to look as far as the season before that where he took 50 wickets and really bowled exceptionally well for us. This season he started off well and he had a couple of 5-wicket hauls within the first 3 games. So he's going to be massively missed by us. And we all the guys wish him all the best wherever he's going, and hopefully he can make it to England. Knowing that he started his career here and that he's moving on to hopefully getting that 3-line shirt.
And are you looking forward to the winter work, fitness and so on?
Yeah, I think obviously with Dave Sutton coming in as our new S&C, a lot of emphasis are being put on individual programs this year where every single player has got a different program that he has to maintain. And I think personally that's going to be a lot better for the players. From my point of view, I'm really pleased with that. I've got specific things that I've got to work on and that I know that I've got to work on. And the individual program is going to help me do that better than maybe doing in group sessions where everybody does exactly the same thing, because something that works for let's say Lee Daggett doesn't necessarily work for me. So I'm looking forward to it. Obviously I've got a lot to prove in next season. I want to come back really fit and strong and being able to play all the games and putting in big performances.
And finally, just a positive to end on. The youngsters coming through this season, they've done a pretty good job, haven't they?
Yeah, I think all the youngsters that have come through have put in some great efforts. I think if you look at our team, we've had great performances from our youngsters. We've had Rob Newton scoring. I think he was top scorer at the end of the season in the first class cricket. He got 200s in one game. He got a couple of other hundreds. He batted really well throughout the season, and he grew in strength and in stature in every game that he played. So I'm really pleased with that. We had young Dave Woolley come through the ranks. Again, a couple of seasons ago he played really well for us in his first one. He's really grown and matured in this one, which hopefully next year we can actually exploit a bit more and expect more and bigger things of him. We've had youngsters like Ben Duckett, Ollie Stone, Christian Davis coming through, all putting in key performances for us at time, young Rob Keogh. But in the same vein, we've got our senior players that have done quite well for us. Pedro's continually scoring runs, James Middlebrook did well for us, and obviously it's good to see David Sales back scoring some runs and batting the way he was. So moving forward, I think we've got a great blend of players, both youth and experience, and hopefully with the way that our youngsters have played, our senior players can get a bit of lift of that, and then next year we can put in some big performances that warrant some prizes in the season.